Hey guys, it's Tim from Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and we're here with another Monday Night Raw review. Tonight's Monday Night Raw was, I guess, very interesting to say the least. It seems like they've changed at least one or two directions for WrestleMania. And yeah, Nick, how's it going?
I'm doing all right. I'm glad because I got two notifications, one from my phone and one on my laptop, so I am thoroughly hyped that notifications went out.
Tweets gone out as well, so everyone, if you don't, for some reason, don't see, you'll see it on Twitter too.
Definitely.
I'm just tired over there.
It's been a long day at work, my dude. So we got Alex Rodriguez, guest student, Elite QB, John Cena, Skitty Pop Pop. Daniel, that Danny Boy, Nicole, Steven, and all my dudes. So let's go ahead and break down Raw.
All right. So I'm just gonna go in order. There's some things I'm gonna say, but I'll just do it in order.
Hold on. Jose, you good, fam? It's just sometimes I cry myself to sleep at night.
Yikes!
Shit.
You okay?
Shit. You good, man? You need someone to talk to you? But Monday Night Raw.
And Nicole says, "I got the notification."
Yeah, thank God.
All right. Let's do this, even though there's only 11 people in here, it says. Anyways.
85.
Okay, mine hasn't updated yet.
Got it.
All right. So, show starts out, and it begins with Mickie James and Bayley out there. Or not Mickie James and Alexa Bliss. What am I thinking? And they talk about the Elimination Chamber and how it's historic and how Alexa's the greatest women's champion and this and that. And she's going to go on to WrestleMania and defeat Asuka. And she loved what Nia did last night. And she felt like, Nia should have been the winner last night, and Asuka got lucky. And then Asuka comes down bad out of hell.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just going to beat you down. You talk some more crap.
Which is exactly what should happen.
And so she comes down there, and Alexa she starts talking to Asuka. And also she goes, wait. I know your English isn't that good, so let me talk like this. I'm like...
Yeah, no, that's called offensive.
I'm like, ooh, hopefully no one calls you guys a racist tonight.
I mean, if they didn't call Jinder Mahal a racist after that whole Shinsuke Nakamura thing, I think it's fine. It's a good way to get cheap heat. So.
And they didn't, like, with the Mahal stuff, they said some offensive things, but she just did the whole, I know your English isn't good. It wasn't like she said anything racist or offensive.
Yeah,
just basically, you lost to Nia. You shouldn't be getting the singles match, this and that. And she says something along the lines of, and Nia's gonna get hers, and then Nia comes out. And so
she's not like most girls.
And so Michael Cole's like, oh my God, she's gonna be cornered. They got her on both sides, and all of a sudden they're showing Nia coming down the ramp. All of a sudden the camera cuts really fast, and it's Asuka in mid kick just kicking Alexa right in the face.
I absolutely love it. Nice. Asuka just has great kicks in general. Right? She just looks like a legit striker.
She then takes down Mickie James. Nia gets in the ring. Nia and Asuka go at it for a minute before Bayley and Sasha Banks run down for the save. It implodes in just big old massive brawl. Go to commercial. My whole thought is, uh-oh. We're either getting a 6-woman now or we're getting a 6-woman at WrestleMania. The Women's Royal Rumble was for nothing. But we got a 6-woman tonight.
Oh, boy. A 6-woman tag match. I know we don't really get to see 6-women tag matches that often. We never get them on SmackDown, and we rarely get them on...
according to Sean Ross Sapp on Fightful.com during his review, he said he believes the 10th 6-woman tag in the WWE between both brands in like the last 3 months. Hence, most have been on SmackDown, but it's like the 10th 6-woman tag, which is it's good and bad because it's like, oh, you're just giving us the same matches, but at the same time, they're trying to get all the women on TV. So
they're not going about it right. I mean, give them some throws. Give me some face matches. Give me some, Becky Charlotte matches. Give me some matches that may not matter but still make the women look good.
Exactly. So, match starts out, and it's Mickie James and Bayley. Bayley dropped her with a shoulder tackle. Bayley fights back and throws James into the turnbuckle a few times. Bayley slams James hard before landing an elbow for a near fall. Mickey fights back, nails Bayley with a Hurricane Rana followed by a forearm strike. Alexa Bliss then gets in. Bayley drops Bliss before getting a near fall and a pin attempt. Banks then tags herself in, rolls up Bliss, 2 count. So later on in the match, Bliss and Banks are fighting, going at it. And they're just trading near falls for a little bit. And then Bliss rolls out of the ring. Banks kicks her alongside James. Banks throws Bliss back into the ring. And Nia runs through Banks on the floor, knocking her down. We go to commercial. We come back. And Nia's in with Sasha Banks in a Cobra Clutch. Banks gets free. Jax gets her into the corner. Jax would then choke Banks on the middle rope. James tags in as she drops Banks, landing with a kick to the head for a near fall. James applies a chin lock to a downed Banks. At this point, Sasha's just like, man, I need out of this match. She goes to tag Bayley, and Bayley just jumps off the apron like, no, you got this, bro.
Yeah, finally, I hate saying this, finally a bit of fucking character out of Bayley. Bayley finally gets a bit of a thing. She gets to do something. She gets to say something, which is nice. And I hope that really, I hope it goes a lot farther. So, you know, we got her jumping down from the apron. Sasha's just, oh, fuck me.
Right. And so eventually she gets tagged. She tags in Asuka eventually. So Asuka gets in there. Alexa Bliss gets back in. Her and Asuka go at it for a minute before Mickie James gets back in. Closing sequence is Asuka. Asuka then hits James with a knee strike followed by a ton of kicks. Asuka nails James with a head kick for a near fall. Bayley then returns to the ring apron as she attacks Bliss. Asuka comes at James with an armbar and Mickie taps out. So they made Asuka look strong. She got the fall, the win, which is good. After, you know, last night, her just looking like a total goob that fluked into a win and then got her ass beat.
Yeah, no, Asuka definitely. Last night wasn't the best showing for Asuka, but I think Corey Graves kind of summed it up, saying, "Oh God, it was something along the lines of like, she's not winning for something. She's winning to win. She's fighting. Oh, she's not fighting for a purpose. She's fighting to win." She's just fighting to win. Right. There's no stipulation. The only thing was she'd be added to the match, but she was just fighting to win. And I think that's what showed last night. She got away with it. She's like, okay. Now she comes out and she looked badass as shit. So I liked it.
Yeah, no, she looked good. She looked really good tonight. It really helped redeem her from last night. So then we got highlights from John Cena last night on Raw Talk saying, you know, I lost the chamber. I don't know what I'm going to do for Mania. I'm going to have to reevaluate everything. And so Cena comes out.
Of course he does.
John Cena cuts a promo about, you know, I lost the Elimination Chamber. I want to go to WrestleMania. I want a WrestleMania match. So this is what I, you know, thought I had to do. And then he goes, but then 5 minutes later I realized I don't need to be down on myself. I need to figure out another way to get to WrestleMania. He then says that he knows what he needs to do, and that is challenge The Undertaker. And as he says this arena in Anaheim goes bananas. Like
now what I wanted to know, is this a louder pop than when Daniel Bryan, like after he joined the Wyatt family, got out of it in that cage match on Raw? Because I feel like that's got to be the biggest pop on Raw.
Maybe. I know in my video earlier I said it was bigger. The pop was bigger than when he won the title at Mania, but that could have just been that the pop didn't sound as loud because of the building. So I could have just misspoke there. But I believe it was louder than when Ziggler cashed in on Raw.
That was a big pop,
like
too.
The crowd, like he said Undertaker, and literally the crowd went for like 2 minutes just going absolutely nuts.
I think that's a match of like this generation in some way, even though Undertaker is a little old. It's the generation of like older brother, little brother.
Well, it's I don't want to say,
you know what
I
mean?
Right. I don't want to say it's like Hogan Rock, because Cena Rock was like Hogan Rock, but I guess you can almost say it's like, you know, that generation gap kind of thing where it's the old generation Hogan, the new generation Rock at the end of his career. So it's kind of like the old generation Taker and the end of the current generation Cena at the end of his career. So it's kind of the same little dynamic there. But then Cena kind of soaks it in for a second before basically saying, but I got some bad news. I'm not the one
I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
He basically goes, I'm not the one allowed to make matches here. And those that do tell me that this is an impossible match to make. So unfortunately, I can't take on The Undertaker. But I know another way to get to WrestleMania, and that is earning it through SmackDown Live. So tomorrow night I will be on SmackDown Live as a free agent. I can do what I want. I'll see you tomorrow night. And that was the last we saw of Cena.
I'll give them the quote unquote benefit of the doubt. But Cena, don't fucking tell us that you don't fucking backstage politic at least a little bit.
Now,
I mean, I guarantee you, like with the young guys that Cena faces, like he lobbied to face Owens, right?
He lobbied when he was in the NXT champion.
Yeah.
Oh, that Elimination Chamber match. Well, not Elimination Chamber. No, it was Money in the Bank. He was Money in the Bank at Money in the Bank.
No, it was at Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, you're right. It was before they moved to Elimination Chamber.
I know that I will. I'm a right man.
So now I have a question for you that I was pondering about since this segment. Is this John Cena going out there basically saying, "Hey, the rumors are not true or they're not coming to fruition," or is it, "I'm going to tell you this now, but Undertaker's going to show up in a couple weeks and just say that he wants the match anyways"? What do you think it is? Do you think it's a swerve to make us think it's not happening, or is it hey, I know it's been reported, but it's officially no longer on the table?
Now, I'm not going to say that it's officially no longer on the table. I think, you guys have been speculating it. You guys have been thinking about it, but I think what it's going to be is they're still in talks with Taker. Taker's still thinking about it, and I think that's going to build suspense. Some genuine suspense. Do I think it'll happen? Hope not.
So if he goes to SmackDown, who does he take on? If what he said was true about going and earning a match, earning a WrestleMania match on SmackDown, who from SmackDown does he take on?
Well, here's my thing. You can't face AJ.
Right.
Because that's Shinsuke and AJ. You're not making that a triple threat. I'll
tell you what I was thinking, but go for it.
The chat is saying, he needs to face Nakamura. No, because no, Tim, let me take this one.
Go.
You all that think, everyone in here that thinks they want Nakamura Cena, that just fucking means you're not going to get Nakamura AJ at Mania. Why are you not processing that? No, Cena can't face Shinsuke because then that means he's going to have to be added to that world title match at the end. It's not going to make sense if he isn't. And if he loses, then he still doesn't have a WrestleMania path. So I don't know.
Here's what I was kind of thinking. You go to Fastlane. Randy Orton wins the U.S. title. We get Randy Orton, John Cena, U.S. title. Here's the only issue with that, though, is if Cena's coming to SmackDown tomorrow to start his road towards WrestleMania, then, there's still 2 or 3 weeks till Fastlane, so it wouldn't really make sense how you set that up with him coming this week and not after Fastlane.
I got you. Bobby Roode United States Open Challenge.
At Mania?
Cena accepts it. During the match? Yes.
Okay.
During the match, Randy Orton attacks him, cuts a promo saying, "Why the hell do you just get to walk in here and you think you get a title shot and it'll take you all the way to Mania?" Nuh-uh.
But
no, you're wrong.
Here's your one issue. It's an open challenge. Anybody can come.
Right. It's going to be Cena.
Oh, I get what you're saying. So
Randy Orton's going to come out and beat him and say, no, you don't get this. You can't do that. That's not fair. That's not happening. He'll just be added to the match at Fastlane.
Gotcha.
And then if he loses that, then it could be something involving Taker. He could be involved in the title match at Fastlane.
Now, I know people kept saying on Twitter, well, Cena's going to SmackDown tomorrow. Undertaker was drafted to SmackDown. Remember he was on the 900th episode? No, Undertaker was never drafted in this last draft that took place in 2016. Undertaker just showed up on that episode of SmackDown because he was a staple on SmackDown during the old brand split. He was never drafted. So there's your whole, he's going to SmackDown and Undertaker's going to show up on SmackDown because he's a SmackDown guy. Not necessarily.
Officially debunked.
Honestly, how big that match is, it's a Raw feud. It's a feud that they would want to do on Raw because Raw's the A show, quote unquote.
Exactly.
So that's why I'm kind of like, damn, are they really not doing it now? Like, what happened?
Who knows, man? But I wonder if not that, what's Cena's path?
Exactly. But Cena did say, he's like, after the chamber, I took 5 minutes of self-loathing. Basically said, I took 5 minutes of self-loathing and then realized, you know what? I got to just find another way.
You know what he probably realized? Oh, I'm John Cena. I could just tell Vince who I want. I got him.
Right? But he said, basically, they tell me I can't do what I want. That's what he said when he said, I don't make matches.
It's like Hogan saying he had no creative control.
Oh, Lord. It's like Nash saying that he wasn't booking WCW.
Exactly. Let's go ahead and
all right. So we had Bray Wyatt. It was supposed to be Bray Wyatt and Heath Slater. Wyatt comes down and attacks Rhino before the match begins. He then nails Slater with a cross body block. Wyatt then hits Rhino with a Uranagi.
That
Wyatt,
so badass.
huh?
That crossbody's so badass.
Oh yeah. Wyatt would then hit Slater with an avalanche. An avalanche followed by a bunch of strikes. Wyatt then hits Slater with a Sister Abigail, and he did the Sister Abigail more like he used to do in NXT, where like he'd come out of the corner with you and he'd kind of like dance around and then hit it. I like that a lot.
I do too. It makes me think of because it makes me think of something I mentioned to my girlfriend yesterday, that they need to absolutely improve on making Bray Wyatt creepy again.
Yes.
Kind of like the anyone but you, Roman. Kind of like that segment.
Right, and so he gets on the mic and he cuts a promo on Matt Hardy, basically saying the Great War is far from over and we will battle again. So he says this, and Matt Hardy, who was not at Raw tonight, who was home in Cameron, North Carolina, tweets the following. Huh?
Eating some good food.
Yeah, he was. He tweets the following and says, "You're looking and sounding rather broken, Bray. I absolutely crave the opportunity to go to war with you again. For the completion of the deletion of Abigail. However, it shall be on my terms, on my battleground."
They're fighting at Battleground, confirmed.
They cut out Battleground this year, I thought.
I think so.
Anyways, according to Sean at Fightful, he said that both Bray and Matt have lobbied to not just officials backstage, but to Vince McMahon himself to do a Final Deletion style match. Oh, I hope they get this, but it's not at WrestleMania. Because how pissed off will those people be if they got to sit through a freaking 20-minute video package, basically, at WrestleMania, if they put this match on during WrestleMania. Now, they could do what they did at Bound for Glory with the Hardys and Decay. I think it was the Decay, where half the match was in the ring, then they went to the backstage, and that was all pre-taped, and then the end of the match fell back out into the ring. They could maybe do something like that if the backstage stuff isn't. Well, I mean, you can always do like Ryan or like the triple threat hardcore match from WrestleMania 17. That was not pre-taped. That was just all done live throughout the whole building. So there's ways to do it. But Matt said on his compound, so that means that they're going to film something, in Cameron, and we'll see when and where it takes place.
I'm excited. I think it'll be okay.
Right. And so we then get the word that Miz is coming out next, and he will apparently find out who his WrestleMania opponent's supposed to be.
Woo.
So then we get, for I think it's the second or third time, recap video of Ronda's segment from Elimination Chamber, because it was the first thing they aired on Raw. And so I think this was the second time we saw it. Miz comes out, and Miz grabs a promo, and he just cuts a fiery promo where he's just like, I'm going to be in 60-some-odd days the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time. I'm the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time. And how do you guys treat me? Go to that merch stand and see if you can find a Miz shirt. You won't find one Miz shirt up there.
You can find two online, but they're not even that good.
He basically says that he's disrespected. He's the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time. And that Kurt Angle said that he has plans for him at WrestleMania, but wouldn't tell him what it is. He then says that he's got a match tonight, and who his opponent is may tell him who he's facing at WrestleMania. And we're like, what's that even mean? And so Seth Rollins comes out, and I'm like, oh, okay, Seth versus Miz. If Seth wins, he gets a title match? I don't know. So they do this non-title match, and this was actually a great match. Because Seth Rollins,
I would imagine,
is great. And The Miz was better than normal.
Yeah. They're great.
The match begins with Miz applying a headlock to Rollins. Miz then drops Rollins with a shoulder tackle. Rollins catches Miz with a hip toss before Miz escapes a penalty kick by rolling out of the ring. Miz gets back in the ring and Rollins nails him with a shoulder tackle. At one point, the Miz-Taraj distracted Rollins. Miz knocks him from the ring apron to the barricade. Miz goes out of the ring and drops Rollins on top of the barricade. Miz gets him back in the ring, but only for a 2 count. Miz slowly do some more stuff here. He gets Rollins in a chin lock. Miz releases it and catches Rollins with some strikes to the midsection. Miz follows that up by attacking Rollins with the it kicks, but Rollins catches Miz and rolls him up for a failed 2 count. Rollins then attacks Miz with chops before Miz propels him out of the ring as we go to another commercial. Come back, Rollins, Miz recovered from some spot that was during the commercial, and he sends Rollins into the ropes before landing a DDT for a near fall. Miz would then nail a cornered Rollins with several drop kicks and clotheslines. Miz then goes to the top rope and Rollins crotches him before following him up there. Miz attacks Rollins to knock him off the ropes. Rollins then does the superplex Falcon Arrow spot, which was great. He seemed a little off on it this time, but it was still fine. So Rollins then catches Miz with a roll-up before the Miz-Taraj, what was that? Anyway,
that was my phone.
Oh, okay. I was like, what? I'm hearing things?
Yeah, you're good.
All right, where was I? Rollins then catches Miz with a roll-up 2 count. He then does basically the same thing that Finn did last week. Looked like he was going after the Miz, and then he dives outside onto the Miz-Taraj. Rollins gets Miz, they all get back into the ring. Miz and Rollins. Rollins hits the Revolution knee, and then he goes for a frog splash. And this frog splash, he had to jump 3/4 of the way across the ring. And he barely got far enough to land this frog splash, but it did go for the 3 count. Seth Rollins defeats The Miz. Crowd goes wild. Then all of a sudden, Rollins couldn't even celebrate or say, I won an IC title match. Finn comes out. And Rollins is just looking like, what is this fucker doing out here? So go to commercial, come back. Seth's gone, and it's Miz versus Finn. Match starts immediately. The Miz-Taraj jumps him, causes a DQ, and Miz is just like, all right, cool, I can leave. As it looks like Miz and the Miz-Taraj are going to leave, Gallows and Anderson come down. They all start fighting, and then Kurt comes up on the big screen and goes, hey, wait. I said we're getting Miz and Finn. We're getting Miz and Finn. The match is restarted. Gallows, Anderson, Axel, Dallas, you're all ejected from ringside. There better be a winner. So we got Finn versus The Miz. Match begins with Miz nailing Balor with a clothesline in the corner. Miz nails Balor with a DDT for a near fall. Miz would then mount Balor with an assault and a plethora of strikes for another near fall. Miz then tosses Balor out of the ring. Miz follows him out of the ring. Balor attacks him with some strikes. Balor would then toss the Miz into the ring steps. Balor gets Miz back in the ring. Miz, though, kicks him in the midsection, catches him with a suplex for a near fall. Go to commercial break. As we come back, Miz is holding in a chin lock. Miz did quite a few chin locks tonight.
A lot of fucking wrestle, but I wouldn't doubt it. The dude wrestled 2 matches.
I was gonna say he did 2 matches. Both matches were at least 10 minutes long, if not longer.
With top guys, mind you.
Exactly. So Balor gets out of the chin lock, nails Miz with a jawbreaker. Balor follows that up by nailing Miz with an overhead kick, a Pele kick, basically.
Yeah, I don't like there's no difference between an overhead and a Pele. I'm sorry. Fuck off.
Balor then kicks Miz in the face before landing some forearm strikes. Balor drops Miz before landing the double stomp. Miz gets up and goes into the corner, but Balor nails him with a running chop. Miz recovers and goes to the top rope, but Balor catches him with an enziguri, followed by an elbow drop for a near fall. Balor almost gets a 3 count from a roll-up. Miz then nails him with a near breaker for a near fall of his own. Miz misses the it kicks. Balor drops him, lands a yes kick of his own. Miz rolls out of the ring. Balor then drop kicks him into the barricade, gets him back into the ring, does another drop kick, this time into the corner, hits the coup de grace, defeats the Miz, IC champ, losing twice in a row in the same night. And he
Gotta
just
love
cut that
IC
promo
title.
on how they don't respect him and they don't show him enough love. Well, this is it right here. No love to the IC champ if he's going to lose twice.
That's one way to book your Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion.
Who's going on to possibly become the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time as far as like longest reigning combined. I do think, this is just no longer Ms. Braun. And I think maybe the reason for the change is because if they want Miz to break that record, he has to hold the title past Mania. Would anybody be happy if Miz were to had beat Braun at Mania with the title on the line?
Yeah, I hear you. I don't think so.
He wins the 3-way to keep the title. I mean, if they want him to break the record, he has to hold the title for like 66 days. There's 41 days till Mania. So
could just drop it to Braun later.
Right. Well, I mean, we don't know what plans they got for Braun after Mania. But afterwards, they show Seth Rollins watching the match. Renee Young comes up and goes, so what are your thoughts on Finn Balor defeating The Miz? He basically says it don't mean nothing because I already defeated The Miz. He beat a guy that has already had a match and been beaten tonight. He then goes on to say that I'm on my road to WrestleMania. Yes, I lost last night, but now I want a challenge for the IC title, and I want The Miz at Mania. We then see Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle in Kurt's office.
Mm-hmm.
Roman then comes out.
Cuts probably the best fucking promo of his life.
Oh my God.
He had movement. He had hand gestures.
He was a little awkward at one spot. So he's out there and he's like, I won the Elimination Chamber last night. I'm going to go on. I'm going to face Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. And I believe he said something about WrestleMania 31. I don't remember exactly. And then he starts mumbling to himself. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking, like, is this the Cena promo where he forgot his lines again? Like, he's mumbling something. He's got the mic down. He's like, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? All of a sudden, he just picks the mic up and goes, no. I'm going to get a talking to when I go in the back here in a minute, but I have to say this. Brock Lesnar's not coming out here because he's not even here. And I'm like, wait, what? He goes, Brock Lesnar is an entitled piece of crap who hides behind his contract. Brock Lesnar was in Las Vegas last night where we were for the Elimination Chamber, and what was he doing? He was spending his night taking pictures on the strip with UFC President Dana White.
Yeah, I'm surprised if they name dropped him.
Yeah, he said that Lesnar has no respect for the WWE, no respect for the wrestlers in the WWE who travel day in and day out around the world for what they love to do, and Brock just comes in here and gets to do whatever he wants. That's not professional. He said that Brock is here because he wants basically says Brock is here because he wants a payday. He says he's here because he was born into this. Reigns then says that he has no respect for Brock. He does not fear him, and then goes, now I'm about to go backstage and get chewed out by management.
Now, let me tell you this. That promo, absolutely fantastic. Roman Reigns has improved on the microphone over the last few years. And I get that tonight was very promo heavy for Raw, but there were at least good fucking promos aside from the Ronda stuff. I give 100% props to him. And another thing I want to mention is that if this was any other guy, the crowd probably would have been a lot louder because what he was saying was all completely true.
Oh, yeah.
What he was saying was 100% true. And everyone knows, everyone thinks it, but we don't want to give Roman that satisfaction. And if this is how they're going to get him over, if the way that they're going to get him over is by having him be the guy that speaks the fucking truth and kicks ass, that's fine with me because he's going to end up getting over very, very quickly. Just watch.
Now, when I first saw this, I thought, is Brock really not there? What the hell's going on? Like, are they just doing this as an angle to try and get heat on Brock with the fans and make Roman the babyface? So I reached out and was told that, yeah, Brock was there, but he left.
Mm-hmm.
So Roman saying, he ain't here no more, was 100% factual. Wasn't some storyline that, like I saw a lot of people on Twitter saying this, and it was the exact thought I had in my mind too was, oh, they're making you think that, Brock Lesnar doesn't care. Brock Lesnar doesn't care to come out here. Roman's the babyface. He's going to cut this promo to get you guys to hate Brock Lesnar. But That's not the case. Brock just up and left, apparently.
Which, I mean, I wonder, in the back of my mind, I was asking my brother this question. You know, they name drop Dana White and the UFC. Do you think it's anywhere in Brock's contract that, like, you have to mention the UFC and Brock has a match upcoming? God, I can't remember against the guy. I cannot remember his name all of a sudden. Yeah, he has a fight.
No, he does not. Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar can't fight for 6 months after he unretires himself.
I get that, but it's been kind of talked about back and forth about who will it be.
Are you talking about the rumored Cain Velasquez fight now? I saw that today, that Cain Velasquez said something about wanting to fight Brock.
I think it was Stipe Miocic?
That's if they were to give Brock see, here's the thing. If they had it their way, it would be Brock Lesnar, John Jones.
Oh yeah.
But because John Jones, well, we don't know. John Jones any day now is supposed to have his hearing as far as his suspension goes. He still hasn't even been suspended from something that he got popped for 6-7 months ago. Like, this should have happened months ago. Anyways, if they could have had their way, it would be John Jones, Brock Lesnar. But because that can't happen, now the feeling is the only other big thing they can do with Brock is give him a title match. Stipe Miocic, heavyweight champion. A lot of people may be a little resentful if Brock just comes in and gets a title match.
He's going to get his ass kicked. He's going to get his shit.
Not necessarily, but it's just the fact of you haven't fought in 2 years. Yes, you won your last fight, but you failed a drug test on that fight. Before that, he hadn't fought since like 2012, 2011. I don't know exactly. Before he came back to so, I mean...
who knows, man?
He's trying to play that game, and like Roman said, he's here because he was born into the business and he loves the business. Brock's just here for business.
Mm-hmm. So let's go ahead and continue on with the segments here.
So
at the end of the day, great promo by Roman.
Oh, yeah.
Was the absolute truth. A real good promo. I hope he gets some more time on the mic. But let's continue here.
So we got a cell phone promo from Braun Strowman. Basically says that he will perform a symphony of destruction on Elias.
It's a good song.
We got a Black History Month video with Seth Rollins, and then we go in.
He's not.
It was.
I don't think he's black.
No, but they were talking about. They were at some museum. Apologize, I don't know exactly what it all was, but they were at some museum talking about Black history and all the different stuff.
No, because why would it be? Titus O'Neil, Apollo Crews,
because they were in the next match.
Oh, that's fucking true.
2 out of 3 falls. WWE Raw Tag Team Title match. The Bar versus Titus Worldwide.
Worldwide?
I thought they had the greatest distraction spot in a tag team match. So Titus is starting off the match for his team, and you have Sheamus and Cesaro on the other side, and they're kind of strategizing with each other for a second, and it looks like Sheamus is going to start the match. All of a sudden, Cesaro just runs across the ring at Titus. So Titus is like, oh, crap, this guy's coming at me. What do? Do I clothesline him? So he looks like he's going to go for a clothesline on Cesaro. Cesaro slides under him and slides out of the ring. And Titus is like, what just happened? Cesaro, are you starting the match with me? Cesaro, I don't know if he says something. I don't know. But Titus turns around, and as he turns around, he immediately gets brogue kicked in the head. Cesaro runs over, grabs Apollo, so Apollo's stuck on the apron. 1, 2, 3, first fall, done.
I like that. That's good. That's the way to make a 2 out of 3 falls match interesting.
Yeah. So then we have the second fall. I mean, there wasn't much here. I mean, at one point, O'Neal dropped Cesaro with a hard Irish whip into the corner. Apollo tagged in and nailed Cesaro with a press slam, followed by a standing shooting star press for a 2 count. Apollo catches him with a dive to the floor. Commercial break. We come back a little bit later. O'Neal is in with Sheamus. He hits him with a Dominator, thinking he's all Farouk now. Crews tags in, and he nails Sheamus with a top rope splash for a near fall. Apollo hits Sheamus with an enziguri, followed by a standing moonsault for a near fall. Cesaro breaks it up, and then he goes in and attacks Titus O'Neil, so Apollo cannot tag out. Apollo attacks them. Yet again, he does a dive to the outside. Usually see Seth Rollins with the multiple dives to the outside, but no, Apollo had a couple tonight. Cesaro then distracts Apollo. Sheamus crotches him. The Bar nails Apollo with a finisher. I think it was the double white noise deal. And they win 2-0 on Titus Worldwide. So Titus Worldwide, like Corey Graves said, if you lose tonight, you go to the back of the line.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know who I hope is next in line? Say yeah.
They weren't even on the show.
I know. It sucks.
So afterwards, Charlie Caruso interviewed the Bar in the ring. The Bar said that they had Titus Worldwide's number tonight. The Bar bragged about all the tag teams they've defeated, saying that they took out the Hardys, they took out Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, they put Jason Jordan on the injured list, saying that the Bar, and then Sheamus says the Bar will get punished at WrestleMania 34 because of how good they are. I didn't understand that line.
Yeah, it was a little weird.
Then we get the announcement that the 2018 Warrior Award winner is going to Jarius J.J. Robertson. I didn't know his story before this, but the video package they aired, holy crap. I had seen the guy, like, the kid on social media and like stuff about him, but I never knew his story. Do you know the story?
No, I don't. What happened?
He was just like, when he was born, he was in the NICU, and all the doctors said he wasn't going to make it. They just said, your boy's not going to make it, told his parents. And so they took him off the ventilator. They thought, we need to set up a funeral. Our baby's not going to. And all of a sudden, he starts breathing on his own. It's like, dang. Oh. So he grows up, and once he gets about school age, he starts having more health complications. I think he had like a liver issue. And so when you look at he ended up getting a liver transplant. Ends up getting a liver transplant. He's healthier now, really charismatic, outgoing kid. You look at him, you think, okay, can't be any older than my son. My son's almost 7. This kid's maybe 10. He's 15.
Oh my God. Didn't know that.
So, he's got that, just fire about him that, I almost died a couple times. I'm not going to take anything for granted. So he's always just out there being the most energetic, life of the party kind of kid, and they picked him because just the way he is and his story for the Warrior Award. It's a great story. I really didn't know it before.
Yeah, congrats, kiddo.
So then Elias. Elias. Next is Elias versus Braun. So Elias comes out and says, who wants to walk with Elias? Elias says that Elimination Chamber didn't go as planned, but says that his road to WrestleMania is ahead of him. And is it just me, or are they using the line road to WrestleMania more than normal? No one anymore says, I got a match at Mania, or I want a Mania match. Everybody has to now say, I want a road to WrestleMania, or my road to WrestleMania. There's no more matches at Mania. You have roads at Mania.
You know what I think? God, this is purely speculation, and I really want it to happen.
What?
2K19 Road to WrestleMania returns.
Hell, I liked it. Anyways,
I love Road to WrestleMania.
Oh yeah.
God, what was the one where we played as Rey Mysterio, Taker, Chris Jericho, Edge, John Cena, or Trish Stratus?
Oh yeah, and then they had like DLC with Christian or something like that.
DLC with Christian.
Yeah, I don't remember which one that was, but I mean, it's I just loved those because it's like story mode, but you get it from like different angles and different. It was just replayability.
Well,
no, because each story was different because it was with different guys,
exactly.
But
exactly replayability. It was replayability.
Right. So Elias says that he didn't like that Braun Strowman insulted his musical talents. Elias calls the WWE Universe and others noise pollution, and then he's interrupted by Strowman, and I love how every time he's interrupted, it's like he doesn't expect it. It's like he just thinks he's going to be able to sing, but every single time he's interrupted.
It's like, it's like anybody doing their signature, heel doing their signature move, thinking they're going to get it off.
I'm just waiting for that week when he's just like, God damn it. Again, I'm interrupted. Instead of just like, why are you interrupting me? Now he needs just to be like, can you guys just let me finish?
Hate when they don't let me finish.
And I found out today, the new Walk with Elias shirt, #1 merch selling shirt on WWE Shop.
It's good to know.
Number one.
Very good to know. Very good to know.
So we have Elias versus Braun Strowman. The match begins with Strowman tossing Elias across the ring. Elias takes a breather on the outside before nailing Strowman with a few strikes. Elias leaves the ring yet again, and Braun chases him out of the ring. Elias attacks Strowman with a few more strikes until he gets destroyed with a clothesline. Elias then leaps off the ropes, and Strowman clobbers him with a strike. Strowman again tosses Elias across the ring. Strowman then hits Elias with an avalanche. Strowman continues to attack Elias, beating him down with strikes. Strowman then crushes Elias with a short arm clothesline. Strowman waits for Elias to get up and lands a headbutt. Strowman follows that up by attacking the upper body of Elias with a clothesline. Elias rolls out of the ring, and he dropped under the ring, I think it was. I don't know, but he ends up getting a fire extinguisher, and he blows it in Braun's face. And so the referee immediately calls for the DQ, which was weird because we've seen in the past, they hit the fire extinguisher and they don't call the DQ.
Now, have you ever seen it with the referee looking?
Ooh.
Because I think all the times it happens, the referee
you may be right.
wasn't
Because
looking.
my thought was, well, he just used the fire extinguisher to blow some smoke in his face. He didn't actually hit him with a fire extinguisher.
That's not smoked him.
I know it's not smoke. What am I supposed to say?
Why the fuck would a fire extinguisher
What am I supposed to call
smoke?
it? What am I supposed to call it? Extinguish? He shot some extinguish at him?
It's oxygen, buddy.
Anyways, shot some oxygen? There's oxygen flying around me right now, buddy. There's oxygen everywhere.
Do you not know how fire extinguishers work?
Yes, I'm joking.
Do you know how fire extinguishers? I really need to know before I move in.
Yes, I don't have one, but yes.
Oh, fuck. God damn it. What happens when Seth comes over and he burns it down? All right, let's continue. Sorry.
Call Tugboat and say, hey, you got some water there on your boat? You can come put this fire out. Anyways.
Obscure wrestling references at this point. Let's go.
Anyway, so after the match, Elias continues attacking Braun with the fire extinguisher. Braun then catches him. Looks like he's going to go for a choke slam, but Elias gets out of it, runs up the ramp. Braun catches him up the ramp, but at the same time, Braun's just rubbing his eyes.
Probably not good.
He gets him up for the power slam. Looks like he's going to put him through the table. And Michael Cole's like, oh, not this again. Please, no. And Elias gets out of it and runs to the back. So Braun chases after him. The whole time, Braun's running after him, but Braun can't see because he's blinded from the fire extinguisher and the oxygen shot in his face.
Thank you.
So Elias is just running and running and running, and Braun's trying to run after him, but he can't see. He's rubbing his eyes. He's blinking like a crazy motherfucker. And finally, Elias just gets out of there, and a limo comes up. And I'm just like, Braun, don't get mad and punch the limo. It's probably Triple H and Stephanie. Just walk away. He walks away, and we don't know who was in the limo. It
should have punched the
cuts
limo.
the commercial.
Should have punched the limo.
How funny would it have been if he punches the window out of the limo and Stephanie's just sitting there and her face is just like, what?
Would have been funny if it was Vince and he's like, that's what I like.
Attaboy, pal.
Punch me next.
Ruthless aggression. Anyway.
Punch me next.
So, we go to commercial, come back, Triple H's music hits. Again, Triple H's music hits for him and Stephanie.
Yeah,
when Stephanie's the focal point. I don't even think Triple H said one word tonight.
She has theme music.
She does.
It's welcome to the
She's
Queen.
on her third theme song anyways. So they come down. Stephanie says that Raw General Manager Kurt Angle ruined their big moment last night of signing Ronda Rousey. She claims that Angle had a scare of double pneumonia, and my first thought was, then why the fuck was he at work with double pneumonia?
That's a good point.
She said Rousey believed what he said. She shouldn't have believed what he said, and the whole scenario was taken out of context. Stephanie says that she got physical with Rousey because Rousey doesn't know what the hierarchy is like in the WWE. She says that I'm the commissioner of Raw. Kurt's the general manager. He reports to me. Ronda, since in the midst of all that chaos, you signed your contract, you now report to me, and the WWE owns you. She says that she wants Kurt Angle to come out and apologize for what he said last night, and Ronda's music hits. And Ronda just comes storming down the ramp like bat out of hell. Like somebody just said something about her kid or something. And then Kurt Angle's running after her. Ronda, stop. Ronda, stop. Stephanie and Triple H flee out of the ring. Don't leave ringside area, though. They flee out of the ring. Kurt gets in the ring. He's like, Ronda, stop. I have to tell you something. And I'm like, okay. And so Ronda's just looking at him.
I'm pregnant with your child. That's a storyline.
Wow. So Kurt just goes, I have to tell you something. I lied. I'm like, you what? He's like, I lied last night. They didn't really say that. I overheard Triple H and Stephanie talking about you. But that's not what they said. I made it all up. I was sick. I didn't know what I was saying. I don't even remember what I actually said last night. I need this job. Please stop.
I need this job.
I'm like, what? You need this job? Then why the fuck did you say what you said last night? Your job obviously didn't matter that much last night.
Tim, he had the flu. He was delusional.
No, he had a case of double pneumonia.
Double pneumonia. Not just pneumonia, but pneumonia.
Braun couldn't even work the weekend a couple weeks ago because he had single pneumonia.
Oh, fuck. Single.
But Kurt, you know, he's an Olympic gold medalist.
Olympiness?
Olympic gold medalist. He won Olympic gold. He won gold with a broken freaking neck. Double pneumonia's nothing for him.
Are you retarded?
A little bit.
All right.
It's been a long day.
Yeah.
So Ronda then goes, you know, Stephanie says, thank you, Kurt. Ronda goes, well, where's my apology for that slap? Mm-hmm. And apparently Stephanie slapped her so hard, she went backstage and people said that Ronda had a big-ass welt on her face.
Yeah.
So she's like, where's my apology for that slap? And Stephanie just kind of looks at her. She goes, you apologize, or I'm going to come over there. I'm going to rip your arm out of socket. And the crowd just starts going, rip her arm, rip her arm, rip her arm. And Stephanie's looking around like, why are you saying that? And then she just goes, I'm sorry. I apologize. And so Ronda's just like, she's just looking very pissed off and everything. And Stephanie goes to leave the ring. And Triple H, you know, opens the ropes for her so she can get out. And as Triple H goes to get out, he turns, punches Kurt Angle in the face. A punch that you can see misses. Like, Triple H missing a punch? Kurt falls down. Ronda then goes to check on him. Triple H and Stephanie walk out. And that is how Monday Night Raw ends. What a lackluster ending. Like, Ronda was better on the mic, but the segment itself was worse.
Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of promos. We got a lot of got very little action, a lot of promos. But
now here's my one last thing about that.
Go ahead.
With Kurt doing the whole "I'm sorry, I need this job," but then Triple H punching him. Do you still think the direction is Kurt Ronda, or is it Ronda somebody else?
It's Kurt Ronda.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's the way they do it now. Like, Triple H punched him. Now he's going to want his revenge on Triple H.
Yeah, I see it happening.
But that was Monday Night Raw. There's not much more to talk about. It was a better show than it's been. Like, I mean, it was a better show than last week. Yes, it was a little more promo heavy, but the promos were like, I don't know if they just said, go out there and say what you want to say, or they hired new writers, but they were so much better than they've been in like the last 2 years.
They meant something.
Exactly. They had realism to them.
Yeah. So thank you guys for tuning in. That has been our Raw show. You can catch us here every Monday for the Raw review, every Tuesday for the SmackDown review, and every Wednesday for the normal Wednesday podcast. You can follow me on Twitter at PW_Armstrong. You can follow us on Twitter at PWUnlimited, Facebook.com/Pro Wrestling ULTD, and right here on YouTube. Tim?
You can follow me on Twitter as well, at TimmyBuddy. And also, if you want to get the I'm a PWU Guy shirt, it's right on your screen, bottom right-hand corner. Head over to Pro Wrestling Unlimited's Pro Wrestling Tees store. Still can't talk. ProWrestlingTees.com/PWUnlimited and use promo code NEWSITE, NEWSITE, at checkout to get 20% off of that shirt.
Definitely go pick up the I'm a PW Guy t-shirt. Support the show today. I will put the link to it in the chat.
The chat.
Yeah.
All right.
So thank you guys so much.
Have a good night. We will see you same time, same place for SmackDown tomorrow.
Yeah. Bye.